All right. We are live on Facebook, everyone. Welcome to the
Great.
call.
Hello.
I've got my
Welcome
friend
to our.
Andrea. Andrea is with us today.
Yes, I am. Once again,
Every Tuesday, noon
every
Eastern.
Tuesday at noon Eastern, we have the doctor's clinic with Dr. Fizz and friends.
Yep. Of course, we must not have any friends since it's just you and me.
How about that? Well, we're friends.
What's that say about life? You know, I haven't done a very good job at 58 years of age if I only got one person on here.
Well, the important people are here.
The important people are here. We're talking about aging.
My favorite topic, anti-aging.
Anti-aging. Yeah, really, we're not talking about aging. We're talking about the reverse of it.
That's right.
You know, I was just going through some of my journals. I rip pages out so I don't have to save the whole journal. And
Yeah.
did you know that during the pandemic, 20% of consumers of nutritional products, 20% of the consumers who bought nutritional products had never purchased nutritional products before.
Really? 20% increase.
20% increase in the industry. 20% who have never used supplements before are new customers.
That's great.
Yeah. Immunity supplements spiked so much that it's up 25% over last year already.
That's
Sales.
amazing. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So if we do a good job of educating people who are already showing an interest in supplements, we can help them so they understand it for their future health as well.
That's right.
You know, they were concerned enough about the pandemic that they went out and they researched and they got started on supplementation. And hopefully they picked supplements that really did work, because there's a lot of fraudulent companies out there. Out of the thousands of nutritional companies, there's only a couple handfuls of companies I would buy any products from.
Right. But the good thing is that people were awakened to the fact that their bodies needed some extra supplementation.
That's true. That's true. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. That's the topic, right?
Right.
Why do we need supplements? There's a lot of people talking about life extension. There's a lot of people talking about anti-aging and age reversal. It's the fastest growing branch of medicine right now, but it's not new. It's not a new topic.
No. It's been going on for years. Yeah, 20 years or more.
Oh, before that, King Methuselah was reported to have lived to be 969 years of age.
That's a lot of lifetimes for us.
Yeah, he was obsessed with good health, and I mean, I'm guessing that the 969 years, maybe they didn't report it accurately, but
maybe they did.
Maybe they did. And so the thing that I try and tell people is that I don't want to live 969 years. I would just like to live to be 110, 120, healthy.
Healthy. Yes, that's the goal. Healthy.
Yep. Because when you think about what science has done and biotechnology and all this new research, whatever, people can, I hear people say, oh, it's because of antibiotics, it's because of vaccines, it's because of food, whatever they want to give it credit to. We're seeing that more people are living longer.
Right. We've established that so many times.
Yeah. More people are living longer, and which makes it look like we're living that our life has been extended. But for a person who has made it, say, to the age of 50, the lifespan is basically the same, but there's more people making it there.
Right.
So we have to worry about health span. How do
Correct.
we make it so that when you're there, you're there in a healthy way rather than in a sick way?
That's right. And that's our main goal, right?
That's the main goal. That's really what we've kind of narrowed it to. And when you take a look at statistics, you know, they're saying by the year 2050 that a majority of people will have cancer.
That's a prediction for sure.
Yeah. And we're not just talking old people, we're talking a majority of the population. Why is that? Why is it that if you go back 120 years ago, there wasn't that much cancer on the planet? If you go back to the days of the Egyptians, you know, and they've exhumed mummies, and they can, using science, they can explore the cells, and they haven't found any cancer. I think they found one case of cancer in all of the mummies that they've explored.
Well, the earth was a lot more pure and toxin free.
That's part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Back in the days of President Nixon, the President's Council on Cancer was formed, and they said within 10 years, within the decade, we'll have the cure for cancer. That was back in, what, 1972?
Yeah, but they decided it was a really good business.
Well, I don't know if it's even that. I mean, they you know, they went after it. They had the war on cancer, and you know, it's getting worse. I mean, they're saying by 2050, a majority of people will have cancer of one kind or another.
Yeah, without new technology to take care of it, that's probably what will happen.
So the war on cancer that we were going to win in 1972 has gotten worse. And it's just like the war on drugs, you know, when we declared the war on drugs. It hasn't gotten better, it's gotten worse.
Yep. Same thing with cigarettes.
Well, I don't know. I think cigarettes has actually gotten better. I see fewer people smoking.
Maybe in your crowd, like, you know, that came out in the 60s, the whole warning and causes cancer and everything. I went back to college in like around 1990. I was shocked at how many students were lighting up between classes on campus. I was like, what happened? Like, you know, we started warning you 25 years ago, and now you're lighting up more than ever. It's crazy.
I still think we're kind of winning that battle. You know, I mean, I really believe, but whatever, you know, I mean, but with all the things that we have, I mean, we should have plenty of clean water. We should have plenty of good, healthy food for people, you know, I mean, and I just say, we're blocking the technology that we should have good, cheap, affordable energy for everybody. Yep. We should be able to provide, you know, the basic needs for life at an affordable, you know, not free. That seems like a lot of people want free, but it not free, because nothing's free. Somebody has to pay for it.
That's right. And yeah, I think it's coming though.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, this topic of anti-aging, you know, way back, I was doing some reading this morning, making my notes again, like I always do. 1665 in England, Robert Hooke, he described cells for the first time. He said that he saw cells, these things that he called cells, in bamboo wood.
Really?
1665.
That's amazing.
So how many years ago was that? Like, you know, not even quite 400 years ago?
Right.
Right? I mean, if my math is correct. So not quite 400 years, about 350, something like that. But from that, biology and microscopes and genetics and all these things have evolved from that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so in the last 350 years, we've expanded it a lot,
Yes.
a lot. And so this morning when I was kind of writing my notes down, I thought, in order to really understand age reversal or anti-aging or just improving your lifespan, don't we really have to understand how life actually works anyhow?
Yes. It's all back to the cells.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's some, Buddhist monk sitting up on top of a mountain somewhere, Kilimanjaro or whatever, rocking back and forth and what is life? And he's sitting there, he's been contemplating it for the last 50 years, right? And we still can't really understand that question because so much of it's really complicated.
Yes, it is.
Like they've just discovered in the last 4 or 5 years, let's say 4 or 5 years, that the bacteria in your gut communicate directly with the cells in your brain.
Yes, how about that?
Right? There's like a bat phone that sends a signal directly from your gut to your brain.
Yep.
What's up with that? They don't understand it. And the bacteria in your gut can alter the way you feel. It can alter your emotions. All these things, right?
Right.
So
the gut is so important.
The gut is really, really important. And then we start looking, we start breaking all this stuff down. So in the gut, what do we got there? We've got, healthy bacteria, and we've got this mucus layer. And, we've got fulvic acid, right? And humic acid, which really is, compost.
Yeah, it is.
Right? When you take your clippings from your mowing and you put it in a pile and you let it rot away, that builds up that kind of stuff from millions of years of composting. That builds up a lot of that mucus in your gut to make this stuff all work, to make it work. So we depend on dirt.
Yeah.
To live.
We're dirt eaters.
We're dirt eaters. And so we depend a lot on dirt and we depend a lot on what's in the dirt, the microbes. And you can tell I don't really have any particular direction that I'm going with this today. I'm just kind of throwing some things out there for thought for people. But, we have a lot of things called enzymes. Enzyme, right? Like there's certain enzymes that break apart hydrogen peroxide, for example, and the molecules are so small, but they're breaking up this hydrogen peroxide. They break up 10,000 molecules of hydrogen peroxide per second.
That's crazy.
Per second.
Enzymes break down our food, everything.
And that's what I was going to say next. So then we have this enzyme called catalase, and what catalase does is it breaks up sugar molecules and it takes and it puts the sugar molecules together with a phosphorus molecule, and that's what builds ATP.
Okay.
Right?
Which is the energy of your cells.
Which is the energy of your cells. So you need enzymes to do that.
Okay.
And you need sugar molecules. You need sugar molecules that come from carbohydrates and things like that. And you need the minerals and this thing. I mean, there's so many biological activities taking place all the time while we're sitting here talking. Every second, there's hundreds of thousands of biological activities that are taking place every single second. And
we're an amazing machine.
And they're all being pushed by enzymes, and you need certain minerals, and you need all these things to make everything work. right?
Right.
And when you look at it, when you look at all the activity, the breakdown of sugars and the breakdown of hydrogen peroxide and the breakdown of carbohydrates and all these different things and all these minerals, how do they all mix together? Who put that together, right? And that's a question, that's a debate that, I don't even want to get into. But when you look at it, there's really no like definite end point.
What do you mean by that?
So with these enzymes and all these different things that are taking place, it should continue to go forever and ever and ever. You just fuel it, it works. You fuel it, it works. And it should just keep going on forever and ever and ever. So, but what happens is that the pre-programmed message is designed to really say, hey, at this certain point, we've had enough. Right? Because otherwise, if life did go on forever and ever and ever, there would be a problem. But it's the message that discontinues the loss of information. That's why cells go into senescence.
Right, loss of information. Yep.
Because they can't pass on the proper information anymore.
Mm-hmm. Due to lack. Mm-hmm. Due to lack of minerals, lack of substances that your body produced very well when you were young. And as you age, it produces less.
Yep. And the machinery just wears out. Right. It's just like the tires on your car. Eventually, you got to replace them. Pretty soon, the engine wears out. Pretty soon, it gets rusty, and you got to get a new car. But that's what happens in your body too. And so, like we talked about last week, with this new 3D printing, human printing, they're going to be able to make new hearts and kidneys and lungs, and then they just take your cells and they put life into this 3D printed heart, and they fire it up, put it in you.
Yeah, I can't wrap my brain around that one at all. It's kind of like, why do planes fly, or why do cell phones work?
Right? Kind of Star Trek-y type of stuff.
Yeah.
But so going back to, where we started this whole conversation was, you look back to the days of Methuselah, and you look back to the yellow emperor that Tom talks about, lived to be 300 years old, something like that.
Supposedly 356, I think.
Yeah. Interesting. And so all of these cases of people that have lived healthy into their hundreds of years of age, they had scientists that studied molecules. They had scientists that studied nutrition, and so like with the Yellow Emperor, he was buried with his hands around the scrolls that had all this information. Right?
Education.
That's what they're telling us. He was buried with it because it was that important. It was that important. And what was on it? A lot of information about nutrition.
Right.
We know that when you eat a banana, there's stuff in there, in the banana, minerals and vitamins and sugars that help keep you alive.
Right.
We know now that if you eat a strawberry instead of a banana, you're going to get different molecules. Ficitin comes from strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
right? And where do we find fistin in a nutritional supplement?
In senolytics.
Stemnolytic, exactly. And what does it do?
It causes the implosion of the senescent stem cells.
It removes the
Or
senescent
part of
stem
them.
cells. And
Yeah.
again, yeah. So going back to what we were talking about, what is aging? Aging is when the information gets mixed up.
Right.
And so what does this fisetin do? Well, fisetin, they found that it gets rid of these senescent stem cells so that your body can pass on the proper message, because that's what's important. And so when you're passing on the proper message, so strawberries have fisetin, and that's what's in our product. And so, sure, somebody's going to say, well, I love strawberries, I'm going to go eat a bunch of strawberries. I mean, I have strawberries every single day in my smoothie every morning.
Yeah.
You know, I make up a smoothie, and I throw strawberries in there, but I'm not going to get enough fisetin from my smoothie. I could drink 3 a day and I'm not going to get enough fisetin.
Right. It's about extractions.
Yeah. And the Chinese, you know, the yellow emperor, he found a molecule, he found a substance that came from a certain plant, and it helped with telomeres.
Yeah. How about that?
Astragalonol, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in India, they found another plant called Bacopa. And in India, they found another molecule called Goda-cola.
Mm-hmm.
And they discovered, you know, just ingredients from fish oil that can help extend life. Harvard came out with a study not that many years ago, and I don't remember exactly when, so I'll just say not that many years ago, because, you know, it was in my lifetime, so it's not that many years ago. Right?
Right.
But,
so far.
Yeah, and you know, 100 years from now, if I'm saying that, then I'm fibbing a little bit. But they discovered that we need minerals. There's certain essential minerals that we don't need very much of, but we need some, and we call them what? Trace
minerals.
Trace essential, right? Essential means we need them.
Right. For normal
and what is
function.
there? Like 74, 75 of these that they know about?
Yeah, it's either 74 or 78. I don't quite remember.
Yeah. And according to Harvard says that over 90% of people are missing some of these key essential minerals.
Right.
According to Mayo Clinic a year ago, you know, I don't know if you remember when we were doing this call last April, but last April, Mayo Clinic came out with a study, and they said that 97% of people weren't getting the basic things that they need for a healthy life.
Right.
97% of people.
If you equate that to, say, a vehicle running or doing a recipe to make a cake, if you're missing an essential ingredient or substance to keep it going correctly, then you have a flopped cake or a degenerated car, or, you know, a degenerated health span.
That's right. That's right. I mean, yeah, I like the idea, like you said, with the cake. If you don't follow the recipe, if you don't put in, you know, that little pinch of salt, it changes the whole recipe.
Yep.
You know, it changes the whole recipe. A friend of mine on Wednesdays at his pub, he has these dry rub wings, chicken wing, and it's a dry rub. And he said that if you don't put in just the right amount, it changes the whole flavor, changes the whole thing. He's got his own secret recipe. Chances are the secret sauce is salt, just like Colonel Sanders found. But
yeah, but like when we're talking about the function of our body, if you're missing several essential minerals, that's having a whole effect on the communication within your body and causing a lot of disruption.
A lot of destruction. Yeah. And people don't know how to watch for those early signs that something might be going wrong. They wake up and they notice that, maybe they have cloudy thinking. And they go, oh, maybe this, maybe that, but they don't really think anything of it. They drink more coffee and they go, okay, I'm okay now.
Yep.
But then they start to notice it every so often. I tell people, you look at headaches. Right now, I think it's like 70% of people get an abnormal amount of headaches in a year.
Do they? I get headaches, but it's usually when my neck's out of place that I get them.
Right, and a lot of people have excuses why they get them. Right?
That's really why it happens.
But I'm just saying, but no matter what the cause is, no matter why you have the headaches, there's a reason for it. And
Right.
2 a year, according to the National Headache Research Institute, 2 a year is considered normal.
Right.
2 a year. 70% of people have problems with their bowels, with constipation or diarrhea, loose stools.
70%.
70%.
Well, yeah, it all boils down to what you're putting in. Are you putting in good? Or are you putting in bad?
Right. But a lot of people, they're not looking at that as kind of like that oil light on the dash of their car. You made an analogy to a car. So you think about that. If you're driving down the road and the oil light comes on in your car, you know enough, you're sensible enough, you're going to pull over and you're going to go, hey, what's wrong?
Right.
You're not going to keep driving. You're not going to put a piece of black electrical tape over the oil light.
Well, you know how they say to fix your car, if it's making weird noises, just turn the radio up.
Just turn the radio up, the noise is gone.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying though is that a lot of people they'll take better care of their car than they do their body, and so they start having headaches all the time. I remember this patient of mine came in and seen me years ago. Her and her daughter came in, and the daughter was actually the patient, and she was getting headaches 3 times a week. I think like a 15-year-old daughter, 3 times a week, and I said, wow, that's abnormal. And she said, oh yeah. She at that time she just considered it to be normal, and I said, how can you consider that to be normal? And she said, well, mom gets headaches every day.
Ouch.
So again, it's a warning sign. That's what we're trying. That's why we're bringing that up, is that it's like having that early warning sign in your body. Start learning to listen to some of the stuff, and what does it mean? What does it all mean? What can you do about it? And precautionary type things, like we were saying, the number of people who are buying supplements right now has gone up tremendously. Well, Andrea, you disappeared. There, you came back. The number of people who are buying supplements has gone up since this pandemic.
Right.
So hopefully we can get them to look at not just taking supplements for boosting their immune system, but what about for all those other regular things in life?
Right. Prevent destruction and increase regeneration.
That's right. Increased regeneration. And they're saying that a lot of cancer is actually triggered by senescent stem cells, because these senescent stem cells, they release chemicals that cause chaos, riots. There's rioting in your body right now.
Yep. Well, not mine.
Well, there is actually. You need a certain amount of rioting. That's what I was just reading about this morning. You need a certain amount of rioting in your body in order to keep your immune system healthy. Otherwise, your immune system starts to go, yeah, there's nothing wrong. We're just going to take a nap.
People's immune system do that. Yep.
They do. And so you need a certain amount of chaos and to, balance things out. So you need good and bad, and it comes into a balance. So anyhow, that was what I was kind of thinking about this morning. And when I got up and I was like, well, what are we going to talk about today? And, and not really any particular product in particular, just really just saying that. So I think next week now, we've talked about, last week we talked about the future of age reversal and anti-aging. This week we kind of talked about the need for supplements and minerals and all that. Next week, let's just do an overview of what supplements really kind of fit in with what we're talking about, the anti-aging supplements.
Yeah, and I think people are going to want to tune in for that, especially with us knowing that we have non-toxic supplements that are high quality, very effective. They're based on medical research, and the amounts that are put in our supplements are the amounts that are used in the research or better. So why wouldn't you want to learn about a supplement? I mean, you can go to any big box store and buy a $3 supplement, but is it really benefiting you?
Right. I mean, if you're buying that $3 supplement, in most cases, and I don't know everything that's out there. I don't know everything. I know most everything, but not everything. But if you're driving down the road and you're throwing it out the window, it's actually healthier for you doing that than it is to actually take it.
Right. So, I mean, if you're going to seriously consider helping your body, increasing your health span, improving your immunity, why not take the best sources that you can?
Totally agree with you. So, well, thanks for being here with me, Andrea, each and every week. I know you're having some beautiful warm weather over there in Michigan. We had 90 some degrees here yesterday, and it's supposed to be 80 today. We had a thunderstorm, but it's already passed. The skies are blue, and a little bit of rain. If we get a little rain every other day, it would be beautiful.
Yeah, at night.
At night, yeah, not during the day. And and to me, it doesn't matter if it's on a weekday or a weekend, because every day is Saturday for me.
Every day is Saturday, right?
Every day is Saturday. And so let's just pray for nice weather, pray for this pandemic to end, pray for all this, crazy crap that's going on in the world, especially here in the United States, to end soon. And so thanks for being here with me. Thanks, everyone.
You bet. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.